welcome back to my mini-series talking about everyday issues. I forgot to tell you on Monday and Tuesday actually, the book that I'm reading is Since You've Been Gone, written by Morgan Matson. Anyway, but that's not what we're talking about at the moment. This video is called Don't Fight for the Girl. I know that sounds really like, what are you talking about? The reason why I don't think that fighting for love or fighting for the girl or whatever is a good idea is because, alright, so if you're like me and you was born in the 90s, you'd know that a stream of chick flicks was like rife in the 90s. You know, you had tons of these movies what was coming out in 80s and I think you had chick flicks and romance movies that's coming out every day, like no matter what the decade. But at the same time, the 90s was basically known for their chick flicks. So I grew up. I used to hang out with my mum a lot, and I grew up, watching a lot of the movies you'd watch, and a lot of the movies as, chick flicks and, romance movies, and it's always the same kind of story, hard girl, who's like either be broken, or, like either been hurt in the past, or she's just like not into, she just don't want to date, she's more of a career girl, whatever. It's the same in the Christmas movies as well. And then you've got this guy who's like totally besotted with her, or maybe she does want to date, maybe she's just with, I don't know, this like loser or whatever, and who's not going anywhere, this rough guy who just wants to beat everyone up. So she's usually with the wrong guy, and the good guy is usually the one that's invisible. She don't really notice. She might say hi every few seconds, not every few seconds, but every once in a while. And he's in love with her. She don't really notice him, but then he falls madly in love with her and tells her how he feels. She rejects him, and then he literally does everything in order for her to change her mind. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Offers to hold her books, if they're in college or school or whatever. Buys her tons of flowers, gifts, all the things that we see as creepy today was highly romantic in the 90s. So there's this sort of expectation on men. This video is mainly dedicated to men and boys. And obviously lesbian, LGBT or whatever. But the thing is, it's like we see this in books as well. We've been given this persona of this is how you get someone to fall in love with you, or this is how you fight for love. She's meant to reject you, and you're meant to do absolutely everything to change her mind. You're meant to literally lay down a carpet of gold for her to walk on, and I feel like a lot of people gets that sort of mixed up with reality. And in reality though, women, when they don't really feel the same way, they don't want you to fight for them. They don't want you to fight for them. They don't want the flowers, they don't want the gifts, they don't want the love letters, they don't want your, like poems, they don't want you to write a song for them. They don't want all the things that's in the movies and in the romance books. Reality is opposite. It's different if she loves you and you lot were together, then you cheated on her maybe, and then she broke up with you or said, I need a break or whatever, and then you're trying to get her back. That's sort of, I think that's slightly different, but even then, I don't know. It's a very grey area because You can literally do the smallest thing and then you're landed with a restraining order. You know, like you, different women react to different things, and one thing that I would definitely 1000% say is you shouldn't, if you've got a son or you've got a little brother or whatever, you shouldn't teach them to fight for the girl no matter what. You know, you shouldn't teach them that because they can really get laughed at for that. They can get, you know, called a weirdo, um, called all sorts, you know, stalker, and that's a really horrible name as well. Stalker, obsessed, and then because when it comes to boys as well, um, boys is very unprotected when it comes to, you know, talking about relationships, talking about different things. You know, you talk to your daughters about, oh, you know, make sure you wear a skirt a decent length, make sure you don't kiss on the first date, make sure you don't do this, make sure you don't do that. But then with boys, it's like, yeah, treat her like a lady and, you know, don't expect, you know, sex or whatever. But when it comes to, you know, like rejection, it's sort of, nope, it's a very grey area because nobody really knows how to handle, nobody really knows how to, the right way, the right way where you should, sorry, the right way to teach someone how to handle rejection. But my way is I would probably say, if you're in love with someone who, you know, hasn't really, it doesn't matter if they've shown, oh, you know, she might like me, or, you know, she smiled at me, or she always looks at me. Because some women, they don't like you, but they just really like the attention you're giving you. So they'll just let you chase and chase and chase. And then they'll go around to their friends and say, oh yeah, this person's totally obsessed with me and blah, blah, blah. Because they want people to think, oh yeah, you know, everybody loves, I don't know, say if it's me, everyone loves Nicole, everyone, you know, everyone's obsessed with her, you know, it's more of an attention thing, but they're not realising that men and boys, you know, they got feelings too. They have feelings too, and I'm not even just saying men and boys. I mean lesbians as well. You have feelings too, and you know, if someone rejects you, I personally say walk away at that point. Because if you close your eyes, you picture just a long black corridor, just a long dark corridor. And when you have feelings for someone and you haven't told them that, you're just walking to through this really long corridor. But the thing is, it can either get brighter at the end, where you see a light, and that means she feels the same way, or she can reject you, which, you know, you just see a dark stairway going down, and you don't want to go down because that is the wrong path to go down. You want to stay level or turn back. So I know that might not make much sense, but it makes sense to me. I just say, if she says no, walk away. That's the best way to avoid becoming obsessed, because it's really easy to become obsessed with someone as well. You might be totally normal, totally, not normal is the wrong word, but totally just your average person, you know, and someone could reject you and you could keep pursuing that person until it becomes an obsession, and then by the time you realise it's an obsession, because I know, by the way, I do know, but by the time it becomes an obsession, it's too late, you know. It's like you're in the thick of it, you've been sleepwalking all this time, and you've finally woken up and you're like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of, you know, all these feelings and trapped emotions and all these things that, you know, I've been trying to get her attention, and now, you know, now what do I do? So I think the best way to do it is to just avoid that. And if she rejects you, you just say, okay, fair enough. I respect, what you're saying, and leave it at that. It's bad to say, but there's plenty of fish in the sea, and yeah. And if she changes her mind, well, she knows how you feel. So if she comes up to you and says, oh, I know I said A, B, and C before, but thinking about it, actually, I think I do like you. That's different, and then you can carry on with your relationship. But anyway, this video was basically just a message, just to, well, mainly awareness, mainly just one of those taboo things that people don't really talk about. Not many people knows that there's just this huge difference between love stories and books and romance movies, and then reality is totally opposite. And I'm not saying totally opposite as in, be a douchebag, don't hold the door, don't outside on a date or whatever. I'm talking about rejection, the rejection side. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, don't be a gentleman. I'm not saying don't be a gentleman. I'm not saying, disrespect her. I'm not saying, like, see women as disposable. That is not what I'm saying. So, well, this video is all about rejection anyway. And I thought I'll just talk briefly on it. And yeah. So hopefully this helped you or helped someone. Share, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.